The home team of Youngblood dealt with their own bickering while facing off against a bunch of supervillains we know nothing about. The away team went off to a foreign nation and assassinated a guy, and for some reason it issued you they were handling the transportation of a guy named Prophet stuck in cryogenic suspension. When the guy woke up from his cryo, he was attacked by guys who wanted to rip off the board from Star Trek. Oh yeah, and there was also this guy who was supposed to be an homage to Jack Kirby, but really just came off like all of Liefeld's characters, which wasn't made any easier since the team Kirby was leading was pretty much just another team exactly like Youngblood, right down to the character design. So let's dig into Youngblood number 3 and watch this series degrade in quality with each passing issue. You know, there's nothing quite like the refreshing crappiness of a Youngblood cover. It's never something I can say is okay or give any praise for. No, this is the best kind of cover for this show. It is absolute garbage. We have Shaft, Die Hard, and Chapel shoved into the cover and taking up as much room as possible, even to the point where they're partially obscuring the Youngblood logo. Actually, the one surprising thing about this cover is Shaft's sword. Rob Liefeld has a reputation when it comes to drawing swords. You can't draw them straight on, so seeing this is actually pretty impressive. So the fact that Shaft is not holding the sword properly kind of makes a lose point. We open to Prophet slouching over like a hunchback while Buzz leaps out of his massive biceps in space. Approximately 19 minutes have passed since this struggle began. Certainly feels that way, although this is only the first page. The disciples have overwhelmed me. Systematically, they have wiped our numbers out. They are everything I was told they would be, and more. Does someone want to get around to telling us everything they are? On the next page, Prophet decides to moon us while making his hands glow. This once again demonstrates Rob's inability to tell a story sequentially, particularly when it comes to fight scenes. Okay, we have this charge of attack, but then in the next panel, he's punching a robot, no special glow around his hand, and I can't even begin to tell you what the hell it is he's hitting. Look at this thing. Can anyone tell if this thing is backwards or forwards after he punches it? Then we get a panel of his face, then one of him in a bright light, then him holding up one of the attackers, then him punching another one. If this was a montage, this would be fine, but it's not. This fight scene is supposed to be taking place in real time. The panels have to flow from one to the next. You cut away to something, sure, then you can have whatever pose you want in the next panel, but that's not happening here. Prophet talks about the others who fought valiantly beside him, despite the fact that he wrongly thought they were foes when he first woke up. He doesn't even know who any of them are. And you know what? Neither do I. This is the 3rd issue of Youngblood, and I can't even remember who half these people are. The first issue has been the only issue to actually be about these characters, and maybe issue 0 is another 2, but I haven't read that one. Issues 2 and 3 are about Prophet and a bunch of other people who aren't Youngblood. The cast is already huge by most team book standards, and yet here we are, giving the focus to people who aren't main characters, yet we've seen more backstory on them than the whole of Youngblood itself. I can't even remember the names of half of these people. I need to get action figures to remind myself who the hell they are. We cut to the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., where Bad Rock and Shaft are walking down a corridor with some loser wearing a pink polka-dotted shirt. In what universe does any human being wear this outfit? Polka dots, suspenders, and a bow tie? And don't get me wrong, bow ties are cool. But not one combined with polka dots and visible suspenders. And what the hell is with this guy's hair? This person is named Timer, and he's apparently Shaft's secretary or something. I feel good that that's his name, because like last issue, this one's dedicated to an actual comic creator, as opposed to the man who gave us this garbage. Respectfully dedicated to the memory of Joe Shuster. I was worried at first that Timer there was supposed to be the Joe Shuster stand-in, so frankly, be prepared if we suddenly have a new character appear named Shuster that has muscles 10 inches across and wields massive guns, just like every other Youngblood character. Timer is telling Shaft about his new action figure line, since apparently he's popular. Why? Evidently, his toy has 4 variant figures. Jesus, is that going a little too far? He paid millions for the listeners alone. Oh good, it's not enough to misspell people's names, now they have to misspell real words. Swap the S and the C in the license, and you've got yourself a whole new word. Because orders is prison. And don't tell me he's too strong for a normal prison. Clearly they had to build this one specially suited to hold him. This is pointless, too. All it establishes is that strong arm is fixed the shaft for putting him in the cell. What, a villain is angry at a hero? What other bold new concept shall the next generation of heroes present us with? While he keeps making pointless threats, the three walk off, passing by a guard. Here we see the real problem with Youngblood's disease, since their vision is so poor now that they can't tell that the security guard is actually this guy in an armored suit and Power Ranger helmet. We come to Earth orbit, where a few Klingon birds of prey, alien spaceships, are hanging in orbit. These are members of Combat Race. Yes, Combat, that guy from the away team of Youngblood that apparently was an alien with a warrior culture shtick, just like Klingon. If that description wasn't good enough, he was the guy with the huge pink gun. The ships are looking for combat, and wow, the similarities with Klingons end here. Why? Well, Klingons actually look like warriors. Metal armor, a wide variety of weapons. These guys? Tell me, at what point did this race decide that our line of honorable warriors will wear skin-tight sky blue spandex with crimson highlights, big golden shoulder pads, and tufts on our stomachs? In fact, this looks so undignified and unwarrior-like that I need to inject this with a fresh bit of real Klingon. Your blood will take the way to the future. Anyway, this guy, an admiral, says he's personally trained combat and doesn't believe that he's dead. However, he's interrupted by an ambassador of stop. What the hell is that? Let's ignore the bizarre proportions on this woman. This is Liefeld. There isn't a single person in this comic that looks normal. But what the hell is up with her head? Combat deserves no honor. He is a traitor and he will die in disgrace. The identity of the traitor has yet to be determined. No, I'm sorry, but I can't ignore it. What is that? What are those huge pointy things coming up from her face? Is everyone ever species like that? Why would evolution ever produce a species like that? And does no one notice that her head is on fire? No wonder she looks so pissed off. Her head is on fire and no one's trying to put it out. Anyway, the two have spotted that Combat has apparently betrayed their emperor, and he apparently fled to Earth, trading alien technology for sanctuary. They're also looking for someone else who was with him called the Acurin, but the ambassador is convinced of Combat's guilt while the Admiral believes Combat is innocent. Back with Youngblood, Shaft is holding a press conference, and with his own stupid hairstyle, he too looks like his head is on fire. The reporter asks him about the death of the Saddam Hussein stand-in, but he denies any involvement, that Youngblood doesn't function as assassin. And I know you may have forgotten because it was 2 years ago and all, but yeah, in fact, they did kill the Saddam Hussein stand-in. Well, okay, the one spiking guy did it, but they covered it up. So yeah, the next generation of heroes. Lying, assassinating, poorly drawn morons who can't actually fight anybody and need some random guest character to do it for them. The reporters start rapidly asking questions about other Image Comics characters at the time, like Savage Dragon and Shadowhawk. Oh look, there's our tribute to Joe Shuster. Clark Kent in what I think is supposed to be Lois Lane, but with a terrible haircut and collagen-injected lips. Was it just Rob Liefeld's dream to become a hairstylist that he got rejected and ended up in the comic book artist? Because if that's the case, it would make far too much sense. As the group leaves the conference, we get another spelling error. This spelling brief as break. This is just starting to get sad. Somebody yelled out to Shaft that there's a jailbreak in progress at the Pentagon. Gee, suddenly having a big prison underneath the Department of Defense seems like a really bad idea. We cut to the Pentagon where, oh, come on! Maybe using Ninja Turtles logic, I could believe that a simple helmet behind the guard uniform would have disguised this woman from sight. But look at the enormous Y on her face. Those would have gone past the guard cap. Are you seriously telling me that none of the three noticed that? On a 2-page spread, we see Chapel, Shaft, and Badrock suddenly bursting through a glass window to confront the woman. A few thoughts come to mind with this scene. 1. Shaft's bow still has no bowstring. 2. I did not know that the vaults where they're keeping strong arms had a nice big glass window that someone could drive their motorcycle through.